Right, so I wanted to make this video today about something that I think, regardless of your stance on climate change, something that I believe is very, very questionable, and I'm not sure just why it's going on, and it continues to go on even more and more, namely in Canada. But we have the Trudeau government hands out 223 million to countries in the Americas and Caribbean to fight climate change. And the reason why this is so crazy, in my opinion, is that um, we have so many people that need help in our own countries. You know, military veterans, homeless, the poor. Why aren't we helping these people when we're just handing money away? Basically, like it's not. We're not even giving away money to help the poor in other countries. We're just giving it away to fight climate change. Like, what does that even mean? And the other thing too that I would mention too is kind of my take-home message from this video is the left loves to talk about how much they care about the poor and how much they want to help the poor and all this stuff that they say, but yet we have all these poor people that need help in our own country, and we're giving away $223 million just on a whim. Like, we're not even, like I said, we're not even helping the poor in other countries. Um, I mean, you know what they always tell you on the airplane is that, or when you're on a plane, is in the event of emergency, put your own oxygen mask on before others, because if your own isn't on, then you're not going to be able to help very many other people because you're going to die or you're going to pass out. And that's this scenario too, is that if we can't even help our own people, then why are we trying to help other people? It doesn't make any sense. And like I said, the left loves to, they go on and they go on and they go on until the cows come home about how much they want to help the poor, and you know, we just care so much about the poor, but then we just toss away that amount of money. It's not like it's some small amount. Like, that could, how many homeless shelters could be built for that amount of money? How many homeless people could be fed for that amount of money? Like, that's a lot of, like, that could solve homelessness, like in the city of Toronto or something like that, for example. I mean, I don't know if it could, but um, I mean, that amount of money, you could do a lot of good. And homelessness and poverty is becoming an issue in countries like Canada. I know as a whole, poverty is coming down, but partially because the left is kind of wrecking the economy and the right doesn't really do a whole lot to fix it when they get in. Um, we're having a lot of issues, and this is something that it needs to be dealt with, and it doesn't need to be dealt with by blowing money that, number one, we don't have to begin with. At the very least, we should just not spend this money and be in 223.5 less $1 million in debt than we're going to be, which, without, I mean, that'd probably be what I would do, but at the very least, let's give the money to people inside Canada and help them. Like I said, like, if you claim to care so much about the poor, but then you just blow money that we don't have and just give it to other people, then you don't really care about the poor. You're just saying that to get their votes, which is the real reason. The left doesn't actually care about the poor. If they cared about the poor, they would implement policies to help get the poor out of being poor. But if that happens, there's less people to vote for the left, because the left gets elected by promising poor people, on average, there's obviously exceptions, but on average they get elected by promising people free stuff, namely free health care, or at the very least, we're not going to take away your free health care, welfare, child benefits, any anything where people can contribute less than the products and services that they're getting. You know, they're contributing $1,000 and they're getting $2,000 worth of goods and services, basically. And if you're on welfare and all that kind of stuff, you're a net negative to society. So if the left creates less net negatives on society, then those people are going to be more likely to vote for the party that says, we're not going to take away more of your justly earned gains, i.e. the right. So I don't really want to get too much into that, but that's kind of the main reason. Um, the left doesn't care about the poor. They don't really care about climate change either, because if they cared about climate change, then they would not be spending more money than we had, which spending more money than we have in the here and now increases our contribution to climate change, because we're spending more money than we have, which means more goods and services are being produced, and it takes more carbon, I guess, will be produced if we produce more goods and services. So, people are going to have to drive to the store to buy those increased amounts of goods and services. The things are going to have to be trucked there, all that stuff. So, that's about it as far as this video goes. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.